Daddy, am I going to get big like Mommy? After hearing these words coming out of the mouth of our frightened 11-year-old daughter, my wife collapsed on the couch with tears crawling down her face. After all she'd done, she exercised every single morning, jogging, crunches, squats, until she felt nauseous. She ate healthy: oats, spinach, steamed chicken, green salad, and nothing after 6 p.m. She did keto, paleo, Atkins, intermittent fasting. She gave up carbs and fat and salt and sugar and even food altogether. She drank gallons of lemon water. Exhausted, sore, and always starving, she got on that scale, barely daring to look at it. But the numbers were the same. The numbers never went down. She felt heartbroken and worthless, buried inside her body. Her life ruled by her belly fat. Then a horrifying realization hit her. She might have to live like this forever, overweight for the rest of her life, always prone to people staring and judging her. So when my wife looked up at me and said, "I wish I could just disappear forever," she tore my soul apart, leaving me helpless and angry that the kind woman I love so much had to suffer through so many restrictions, exercises, and medical visits, all for nothing. It was the most heart-wrenching moment in our marriage, and it pains me even more to tell you what happened next. But there's a good reason I need you to hear this story today. Because it was the precise moment that sent me on a completely unexpected 2-year-long journey through the dark underbelly of the multi-billion-dollar weight loss industry, and eventually led me to the discovery of a completely natural and inexpensive method that would change the lives of tens and thousands of women and men all around the world. A 5-second write from a small, forgotten village in Japan that left doctors in shock and transformed my 48-year-old wife's life and body completely, while supporting a healthy heart, arteries, joints, and blood sugar levels. After years of torturous, useless diets, she succeeded in melting 72 pounds of pure ugly fat from her belly, arms, back, hips, and thighs, going from this to this. By effortlessly getting rid of 1 pound per day, overcoming her severe depression, and regaining her energy and sex drive. Despite what you've been led to believe, the root cause of your belly fat and weight gain has absolutely nothing to do with how much you diet or starve yourself, how many times you exercise, whether you cut carbs or sugar or fat or all of them. And it's not about your thyroid, hormones, metabolism, or age either. Instead, as groundbreaking scans have proved it, the real cause of belly fat has everything to do with something deeply disturbing that's happening inside your brain at this very moment. And once you'll discover what it is, you'll have the power to burn 1 pound of raw fat per day, kill food cravings, and stop your body from storing excess weight. No matter if you're a male or a female, 30 or 70 years old, no matter how long you've been trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, and no matter your medical condition. This natural, safe method has been kept secret by the noble Japanese samurai for centuries, can help you burn fat faster than an 18-year-old in just 5 seconds per day. You won't have to set foot in the gym, count calories, or give up any of your favorite foods in the process. In the next 5 minutes, you'll find out why 95% of all popular diets are meant to fail, and how internet health gurus are covering everything up. The absolute worst exercise that you should never ever do, especially if you're overweight, no matter how much fitness experts recommend it. Why overweight people actually have a higher metabolism than people with normal weight, yet still can't get thinner. Hint: metabolism boosting tricks are a big hoax. How an accidental American experiment uncovered the culprit that's forcing your body to make fat deposits in your stomach while hiding deep inside your brain. And the clinically proven, simple 5-second ancient method that you can use starting today to constantly shed one stubborn pound after another while taking care of your arteries, joints, and blood sugar levels, along with all the studies and tests that prove how it works. It's absolutely crucial you stick with me until the very end of my story while you still have the chance, because I don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep this presentation online. The weight loss industry is worth $72 billion in the US alone. These people are perfectly happy to shatter your physical and mental health, trying to make you think their crazy shake diets or extreme cardio sessions are the only way, especially when doing so makes them rich and famous. Honestly, if these things really worked, Americans would all be supermodels by now. It's only logical that they're scared that my method can put them out of business overnight. They don't want you fit and slim. They want to keep you a customer for life. So please keep listening, because this information could save your life or the life of your loved one. Just imagine what it would feel like to never have to worry about deadly health complications, about the cruel things that those around you are saying behind your back, or what your spouse is really thinking when he or she sees your naked body. Instead, you wake up every day thinner and thinner, and actually see how your belly is getting flatter and flatter, and how your love handles and back fat are slowly vanishing. Climbing on the scale feels like Christmas morning, as every day the numbers are going down like clockwork. You're eating all your favorite snacks and treats guilt-free whenever and wherever you want. Your hair and skin look vibrant and youthful. You're full of vitality, dressed up in sexy tight clothes. Everyone is dumbstruck when they lie their eyes upon you, desperate to know your secret. So let's not waste any more time. It's time you broke free from the stomach fat jail. My name is Sam Hansen. I'm 48 years old and live in a small town near Chicago, Illinois, together with my dear wife Angela and our two beautiful daughters. I want you to know right from the beginning that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a clever nutritionist nor a professional trainer. I'm a normal guy who works as a proud 911 dispatcher. It's a crucial job where every second matters. Over time, I've taken a lot of calls from car crashes to life and death situations. And with every year, I find out that most of the people suffering from cardiac arrests or severe lung and digestive problems are overweight. It's like their bodies turn on them in the blink of an eye. 1 minute they're fine, the next second an ambulance rushes them to the ER. That's why 2 years ago, I was really worried about my wife, Angela. Now, Angie and I are high school sweethearts. We got married in our 20s and got blessed with our two daughters in our 30s. Now, Angie was never the skinny type, but she was what you would call a hottie. Right? Guys were always checking her out, and I got all jealous all the time. But after her first and second pregnancy, she started putting on weight. At first 20 pounds, which never went away, then another 35. And she tried everything. We spent our holiday money and then money we didn't have on home gym equipment, popular diets and meal plan deliveries, personal trainers, gym memberships with crazy Zumba classes and whatnot. She got measured and scanned by doctors and nutritionists, BMI, fat percentage, water percentage, metabolic rate, you name it. Okay? No personalized solution helped her. And after every attempt to lose weight, she was stuck with another 1 or 2 pounds. It was almost like the body was getting back at her. Now, since she also had relentless headaches and was always tired, losing her breath even after a few steps, we decided to go to the doctor. Now, after examining her, he said, "Your blood pressure is high. You're at a serious risk of a heart attack. Now, I'd recommend you lose some weight," he added indifferently. Listen, I swear, I'm not a violent guy, but in that moment, I could have just thrown him out the window. No later than a week after, we received an invitation to our 30-year high school reunion, and it turned our lives around. Now, Angie didn't want to go. Okay, she was ashamed of the way she looked. She had gained almost 60 pounds since high school. Now, how could she show her face? Nonsense. Everyone always loved you, I said. Now, convinced that a little partying with old mates would cheer her up. Now, she spent 4 long hours at the mall trying to find a dress and a pair of heels that could fit her. At the end of the shopping session, she was drained. She seemed, lost and just defeated. Now, on the night of the reunion, she made a great effort to climb to the spiraling stairs to the ballroom. Now, when we arrived at the top to greet everyone and have her picture taken, she was all sweaty. Okay, I could tell that she felt uncomfortable. She forced herself to smile and tried to hide her tummy all the time with a big scarf that she had around her neck. Now, not long into the celebration, I knew that putting herself through this event was the worst mistake I could ever make as a husband. Even to this day, it pains my heart to say this, but it was obvious she weighed more than anyone in the room. Sure, there were other colleagues who had let themselves go. Nobody looked like they were in their prime years, but Angie was unrecognizable. Now, one of them even asked, "Where's Angie?" thinking we got divorced or something. Absolutely no one complimented her on her looks, even though they all complimented each other. All she got were surprised looks, long stares, and awkward salutes like, "Well, it's great to see you." Meanwhile, I try not to stare at some of my ex-classmates. Some of the women looked dazzling, sexy, and confident, wearing tight dresses and prancing around like divas. I felt guilty and disgusted with myself. Now, it was not long past midnight when she whispered desperately, "Please, let's go." Now, I got up the next second and we left. Now, in the car, Angela cried her heart out. She told me that she never felt more humiliated and that she never wants to go out of the house. I tried to comfort her, telling her how much I loved her, but I only made things worse. Now, nobody has told me I'm beautiful in 20 years, she blurted out. Not even you. Now, the second day, she refused to get out of bed, and every time I tried to reason with her, we ended up in a horrible fight. Now, Sarah, our youngest daughter, she must have overheard some parts of these fights because she came into our room with fearful eyes. "Daddy, am I going to be big like Mommy when I grow up?" With this question, I knew Angie had hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. Now, the truth was, Sarah might not have been the skinniest kid in her class, but she was certainly not overweight. Now, nevertheless, she barely touched her food that week. I cooked everything from her favorite foods to healthy salads. I ordered in. I took her to the restaurant. No use. With my wife so depressed, she couldn't even cry anymore. And my daughter in some kind of hunger strike, I was on my knees praying for a miracle to happen. Now, none of them were talking to me. I laid awake for hours in bed many nights, tossing and turning, looking at Angie while we slept, worrying, what might happen if I could never get her back on her feet. Now, her mental health getting worse, her arteries deteriorating, her, breathing becoming heavier and heavier. I had to do something. Now, I sure wasn't going to stand back and watch how our marriage, our family was just falling apart. Now, I had to find a solution that could make her feel proud of her body and, put that warm smile I missed so much back on her face and, get my Sarah to eat like a normal child again. So one night, I got in front of the computer and started my quest. There was one question in particular that kept haunting me. That is, why do some people gain weight or become obese even though they eat the same foods as ones that stay thin? I mean, we all know that that skinny friend out there who can eat burgers and fries at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's like they're Teflon for fat. So after spending endless hours glued to my chair, here's what I discovered. As you may already know, fat cells lie behind how you gain and lose weight. Now, when you gain weight, they expand. Now, when you lose weight, they contract. So there's nothing too fancy here. Now, when fat cells grow, they release a hormone called leptin. Now, leptin controls our hunger or how we feel. Now, when leptin levels are low, we feel hungry and crave calories. When leptin levels are high, we feel full and satisfied. Now, there's no surprise if you've heard of leptin before, but wait until you hear the whole story. Many scientists explored leptin as a possible treatment for weight gain. They even called it the anti-obesity hormone. Then things went south during an experiment. They believed that overweight people couldn't produce enough leptin. So they thought that giving them leptin would raise levels, which would signal them to stop overeating. But when they started giving it to people, it didn't work so well. Leptin is made by fat tissue, and as you get bigger, you make more of it. Now that was quite a shock because everybody thought that obese people were going to be deficient in leptin. In turn, they had a lot of it, and in giving them more had zero positive effects. It actually made things worse. But scientists at Virginia Commonwealth University didn't give up. After more tests, they realized leptin mattered, but not in the way they thought. It wasn't about leptin deficiency, it was about something else, something called leptin resistance. As you already know, excess energy from food is converted into fat and stored in our fat cells. When your fat cells get bigger, they release leptin to signal your brain and body to stop eating. Now that's when you should easily put down your fork and knife and stay slim. But instead, leptin resistance occurs. Now, as the leptin signals don't reach your brain doesn't get the message that you're full. Instead, you continue to feel hungry and keep eating until it becomes a vicious cycle. So in leptin resistance, your leptin is high, which means your body gets fat, but your brain can't see it. In other words, your brain is starved while your body is obese. And that's what obesity is. It's brain starvation. I felt I was onto something. Unfortunately, most studies seem to stop here. The medical and scientific community shook their hands over leptin resistance being the cause of weight gain. But for me, the case remained unsolved. What causes leptin resistance in the first place? Luckily, I came across a quote from Robert H. Lustig, MD, a member of the Endocrine Society's Obesity Task Force, who said, "Fat seems to block leptin transport into the brain. In order to make your leptin work, you have to let the signaling occur." Now, because if your brain can't see the leptin signal, you're going to get obese. Now, as a 911 operator, it all made perfect sense to me. With every signal or message, there's a sender and a receiver. Now, the fat cells are calling to say, "Hey, emergency here." But the brain is not answering the phone call to give the right instructions. So the emergencies keep piling up on your stomach, on your hips, and your thighs. But who receives the leptin signal inside the brain? Well, that's when I discovered a brain scan that had me doing mental flips. It might not seem like much, but in it you can see a brain molecule that's called leptin receptor, or OBR. The great majority of these leptin receptors are found in your brain in a section called the hypothalamus. But guess where else these can be found? Around the stomach area. Now, following the leptin receptor's path, I finally cracked the leptin resistance mystery as two little-known scientific breakthroughs revealed how it can be treated. The first one came from the Warsaw Medical University and analyzed leptin receptors in depth. Now, the Polish researchers suggested that relatively weak signal through OB/RB or leptin receptors observed in these obese patients may explain leptin resistance in these patients. The other one, done by the researchers at the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, pointed out that when fat cells increase in size, as they do during the development of obesity, the cells lose receptors for the hormone leptin, and they continue with the mind-blowing statement. We now think that people with naturally high levels of leptin receptors may not gain weight as rapidly as people who have low level of leptin receptors. And Dr. Unger from the UT Southwestern Medical Center says it could explain why some people can eat more and do not gain weight. Now the solution: strengthen the existing leptin receptors and produce new ones. It was amazing. The key to weight loss doesn't lie in the belly nor in the stomach. The key to weight loss is deeply rooted inside your brain. And you can eat healthy, exercise, diet, you name it. There's no one at the end of the line to get the message. Your body and brain won't register your efforts. Now still, after being overwhelmed with joy for everything I discovered, I realized that the one piece was still missing. How can you strengthen the existing leptin receptors and produce new ones? I was stuck yet again. But there must be a higher power up there, because a few days later, I received the photos from our high school reunion. And one of those photos made everything fall into place. Now here's why. In that photo was Alan. You see, Alan was one of my old friends from high school. Now back then, he was a shy, kind of nerdy guy who always got teased about his weight. He weighed around 230 pounds. But now, you could barely recognize him. He turned into some kind of Greek god. He looked spectacular, slim, young, radiant. Women all over the room were shamelessly devouring his every move. Now, what in the world could he have done? Sold his soul to the devil? I was both too desperate and too curious not to ask him. So I called him. Now, even though I was embarrassed, I told him everything. That Angie refuses to get out of bed and Sarah refuses to eat, and that our marriage was on the rocks. Now, even though I expected him to act distant, as so many years had passed, he was incredibly compassionate and understanding. Listen, Sam, I'd be more than happy to help Angie. After all, she was the only one who didn't make fun of me. I'm sure I can help you, but he paused. This is not something I can tell you over the phone. So we met in a little Italian restaurant in Chicago. He ordered a pepperoni pizza and a tiramisu cake for dessert and began eating with no remorse whatsoever. How in the world do you do it? My jaw was dropping. Then he told me things to this day, even though I know for sure they're 100% true, still seem unreal to me. Alan had struggled to lose weight for as long as he could remember. So he got hired at one of America's biggest weight loss companies. Those guys had an annual revenue of over $1 billion, selling personalized meal plans, shakes, and fitness programs. Now, he worked there for 10 years with free access to all their products. He did not lose 1 pound. So Alan revealed the 3 biggest weight loss lies that put your life at risk while filling fat cats' pockets. The whole industry was a scam, claiming to help you lose weight, but actually making you fatter, rotating fitness challenges, and one popular diet after another. Listen, when was the last time you went on a diet, maybe lost some weight, and the weight stayed off for good? I'm guessing never. This is the first biggest weight loss lie. Diets help you lose weight. Listen, calorie counting is nonsense. It isn't useful since it was proven over and over again that people respond differently to foods with the same number of calories. Plus, the biggest problem isn't losing weight, it's maintaining the new weight. That's where all diets fail, because they leave your brain and body in the survival mode, weak and hungry for calories, ready to deposit every single bit of fat you should ever pull the starving trick again. Now, research shows that 95% of all diets fail, and 66% of the people who diet end up putting on more weight. Even worse, dieting was proven to be the cause of hair thinning, osteoporosis, and fatigue. Cut carbs as they preach to you in keto diets, and you'll be low energy all day. Eliminate fat, and you'll be dizzy and unable to focus. Say no to meat, and you might say no to your hair. At best, every food cut results in severe vitamin deficiencies and poor digestion. What's in it for you at the end? More weight. To really lose weight and keep it off for life, you need to go at the root cause, leptin resistance, not just treat the symptoms. When you diet, you are trapped in the leptin resistance, and weight loss companies make their profits by keeping you in this cycle for life. It's a business model. You know what else they make money off of? Second biggest weight loss lie: exercise helps you lose weight. There are 60+ serious studies on this subject. While 100% of the energy we get comes from food, we can burn only 10% of it with physical activity. This happens only if you work out really, really hard. A 2019 study showed that people who exercise increase their food intake. So let's say you burn 500 calories in 1 hour of fast jogging, because this is how long it takes. Your body will automatically enter survival mode, and when it sees food, will send you the message to compensate for the lost energy. Chances are you add at least 350 calories to your meal. Plus, if you're even 20 pounds overweight, you're risking serious injuries because you're putting a lot of stress on your joints, especially with cardio exercises. Think about the contestants from top weight loss shows. They were all wrapped up in wristbands and bandages. In conclusion, exercise in moderation is good for your health, but it does nothing for your belly fat. With that, we go to the third biggest weight loss lie. Slow metabolism keeps you from losing weight. Now, this one was really shocking for me. Overweight people actually have a higher metabolism than people with a normal weight. Your metabolism is in every cell of your body. Now, most of the energy you burn is from your resting metabolism, meaning energy used for your body's normal daily functions. Now, the more cells you have, yes, even fat cells, the higher your metabolism. Plus, get this, medical experiments uncovered the fact that you cannot speed up your metabolism for weight loss. This is just another myth. No diet, exercise, or metabolism speeding trick will help you achieve the figure you're dreaming of. Now, don't get discouraged though, because in just 1 minute, I'll reveal to you Alan's secret. Now, after seeing all of my research, Alan was quite impressed. Well, this explains a lot why my sacred mixture works. Mixture? What sacred mixture? Fed up with his disappointing job, Alan decided to go on a spiritually healing journey, which turned out to be his weight loss journey. For 3 years, he followed little-known paths that guided him into the depths of hidden forests or in the middle of ancient mountains. He had one hope: to pick the brains of some of the greatest, wisest healers in the world. And all the healers, from mysterious shamans to experienced doctors that were banished from their hospitals because they dared to question the crooked medical system, seem to have one saying: if the mind heals, the body follows. Even though giving up was not an option, carrying all of his extra weight with him was excruciating, until he arrived in a small, forgotten village in East Asia, Japan, where his body changed almost overnight. Japan is the country with the lowest obesity rate. Even though Japanese eat fatty fish, pork, and beef, along with carb-filled noodles and rice, plus all sorts of insane snacks, they are the slimmest nation in the world. Now, as Alan was about to discover, it's because starting with their ancestors, they're used to consuming 3 sacred medicinal mushrooms used for centuries as food for the brain and body. Now, first, there's Maitake, known as the king of mushrooms, once hunted and consumed by the Japanese samurai who used to dance when they'd finally find it. Now, this wonder mushroom is so strong, it is used against brain tumors. Now, Maitake contains a magic active element known as diffraction, which lowers blood pressure, regulates blood sugar levels, and causes your body to burn instead of storing fat. It also has the ability to nourish the liver with trace minerals. Now, shiitake is a wild black mushroom that helps with brain tissue growth and has been proven to influence the dietary receptors. During an experiment, shiitake have been found to inhibit fat storage even in subjects fed a high-calorie diet. Now, specialists believe the shroom can be effective in lowering cholesterol too. Now, last but not least, reishi, called the Supreme Protector, can reduce fat deposited beneath the skin by up to 59%. Now, thanks to its ability to regenerate brain cells and nerves, the mushroom has beneficial effects on brain receptors and mental health, reducing dizziness, fatigue, and stress, and improving memory. After taking a small bowl of the fresh mixture made from these potent mushrooms, Alan remembered waking up 4 pounds lighter the very next morning. He limited himself to a small spoon for 2 more weeks until he arrived in South America, where he got the chance to test something else. Graviola leaves, or the Brazilian powwow, comes from a small evergreen tree and are rich in antioxidants, which have the unique power to regenerate brain receptors and purify body cells by hunting the disease-causing free radicals and destroying them. You can think about it as a complete detoxifier that regulates glucose levels as well. Alan's last stop was in Central Africa, where he experimented one more time with Pygeum africanum, or the African cherry. Now, this small fruit contains special phytosterols, nutrients that feed brain receptors, improve intercellular communication, and strengthen the leptin satiety signals. As an added bonus, Pygeum africanum is believed to increase libido. On his trip, Alan also discovered 3 more enhancers that, when combined with the fat-blasting mushrooms, increase their effectiveness. Red raspberries that cause your body to break down the fat within cells more easily. Cat's claw can eliminate dangerous bacteria and restore a healthy microenvironment in your gut, so your digestion is perfect. Now, saw palmetto, that prevents future damage to brain cell receptors thanks to its unique group of antioxidants. After every spoon of powder, my friend felt better and lighter. But what if he mixed them? All of them. He was afraid at first, because those are some powerful, godlike herbs. But people do all sorts of things out of desperation. The result? He lost weight. A lot. Now, the downside, he was afraid of getting too skinny. Now, as soon as I got home from our dinner, I checked out every mushroom, herb, or fruit. Every one of them was linked to countless studies and benefits. All in all, Alan's recipe included 9 wonder ingredients, clinically proven to address the root cause of leptin resistance by turbo boosting and multiplying brain receptors and stopping food cravings. Now, furthermore, the mixture also supported normal blood sugar levels and blood pressure levels, as well as a healthy brain, heart, and joints. I couldn't believe how powerful those ingredients were. Yet, not a single doctor or the weight loss gurus had ever mentioned them to my Angela. All they wanted was to squeeze her dry of every penny. You bet, at that point, I was obsessed not only to bring my wife back to life, but to help the millions of innocent people who believed the lies of those fat cats. But my enthusiasm was curbed by my new problem. I had spent days trying to source the best ingredients from all over the world, and thousands of dollars to buy them, then weeks to extract the sacred seeds, leaves, and essences. At the end, I had to dry them out, grind them down, and adjust the ratios. The result? I had enough of the mixture to last a week or so. Plus, I was exhausted, and to think Alan was with me this whole time, I don't even want to think of how long it would have taken if I was alone. We needed a plan B. I thought that if I bought the ingredients in bulk and contacted a large, modern, yet discreet manufacturing facility in the USA, that I could take care of everything. I could produce this potent mixture in the quantity I wanted and in tiny, easy to swallow capsules. Now that's when Alan and I started our chase for manufacturing facilities. Now Alan had one non-negotiable request. The ingredients needed to be the real thing. This means they needed to come from the best places he knew and be sourced and processed the right way in order to keep their properties intact. You wouldn't believe how many counterfeits are on the market. I remember I jumped for joy when we found a facility that was both FDA registered and GMP certified. And while we were at it, we could improve it with modern science and technology. Maybe adjust the quantities to make it the ultimate formula. Now, both more effective and 100% safe for any medical condition. But there was no hiding it. Without any medical experience, we needed help. That's when we called Dr. Wellington, one of our dear classmates who had over 25 years of experience in internal medicine. Now, I don't know what shocked her the most, Alan's story, the list of natural ingredients, or the fact that my research truly uncovered the root cause of leptin resistance. Your data is incredibly accurate, our doctor said. She agreed to help us on the spot, especially since both her husband and her daughter struggled with weight loss. Honestly, almost every year, a group of well-intended researchers tries to bring to light a study about leptin receptors, and then it's like they vanish into thin air. I've seen one in '98, then 2005, 2007, and if I remember correctly, also in 2017 and 2019. I know for sure that some weight loss companies have dedicated budgets and departments to bury any breakthrough, Alan concluded. Well, that being said, Dr. Wellington got to work immediately. Aside from adjusting the dosages for maximum effects and a healthy weight loss pace, which put Alan's fears of becoming too skinny to rest, she added 5-star vitamins to support the body through the entire process and prevent any nutrient deficiency. Vitamin B6 for tonified, glowing skin. Zinc for a rock-solid immune system and hormonal balance. Selenium for thick, dense hair. Vitamin E for strong eyes and good-looking nails. And copper for bone strength. And the final touch, green tea for combating water retention. Now, we just couldn't believe our eyes. The formula was a work of art. Since our proprietary blend is 100% natural and the facility where we produced our capsules is FDA registered and GMP certified, we didn't have to wait for approval. All we needed was one willing patient to test it, and that patient was Angie. All she had to do was take one vegetable capsule every day with water. She was rather skeptical and at that point really annoyed with my scientific adventures, and who could blame her? But since she knew Alan and I invested every penny we had to produce the first batch of plant-filled capsules, she agreed to try it out. The first 3 days, nothing happened. She wasn't feeling anything. She puffed, waste of time. Now the 4th day, I had to beg her to continue. Now after 7 days, the scale gave me a glimpse of hope. She had lost 2 pounds. Now Angie wasn't impressed though. Then something amazing happened. Each morning at the weigh-in, she was 1 pound lighter. Moreover, after the 9th day or so at dinner, when I wanted to fill her plate the 2nd time, she said, "No thanks, I'm good." Even when her favorite foods were on the menu, and that had never happened before. It looked like once she got to the root of her leptin resistance by strengthening her leptin receptors and producing new ones, her cravings vanished and her weight was melting off like ice cream in the sun. Now the best part, she was still eating all the pizza, chips, or chocolates that she wanted. And she never forced herself to stop eating. It came naturally to her. Sometimes just a couple of bites were enough. Now that was incredible. 23rd of August is the day I'll never forget. She came into the room holding the scale close to her chest like she was holding a baby. Now I have to admit, at first I was confused. Had she gone mad? But then she jumped on it right in front of me. No shame, no guilt, and we both started to cry tears of joy. She had lost 72 pounds. Now we then went shopping because, well, the only clothes that didn't fall off of her were the ones she wore in high school, and even those were a bit loose. Now, every piece of jeans, every skirt or dress that she tried on fitted her perfectly. She was a vision. I was so attracted to her, I could barely keep my hands off of her. Now when we got home, we went straight to the bedroom and we had the most passionate night. Every single trace of her pregnancy fat had disappeared. Her belly fat, arm fat, chin fat, back fat, and love handles all gone like they never existed. Her hair looked fuller, thicker, and shinier, while her skin felt so soft. Plus, Angie's energy was through the roof. I could barely keep up with her. When we went to see Dr. Wellington, she didn't know what to believe. She called my wife a medical miracle, even though she was the one who put the final touches on our natural blend. It turned out Angie was no longer at risk of heart attack, her blood vessels were clean, her blood sugar levels steady, and her joints strong. My wife had broken the cycle of leptin resistance. Now, seeing all of these, you bet we wanted to get the formula into the hands of as many people as possible. But Dr. Wellington warned us that one person wasn't proof it worked. Now, if it worked for Angie, would it work for everyone? Now, we needed to test it on more people who suffered from uncontrolled cravings and weight gain. People whose brains were screaming at that very moment, "Help, I'm starving." Now, they had to be at least 20 pounds overweight and unable to lose weight no matter their diet or workout routine, experience hunger and health difficulties. So I asked my colleagues from the call center to help me. Almost all of them had a friend or a relative whose life was a constant battle with their belly fat, one they could just not win. After 2 weeks, we had a total of 50 people ready to embark on our experiment. Now, the results were greater than our wildest dreams. Without exception, and within a few weeks, all 50 volunteers reported dramatic drops in their cravings and an average weight loss of 51 pounds. Now, the visceral fat around their organs evaporated, their brain fog vanished, their blood pressure was steady, and their bodies felt brand new. No aches, no pains, no heavy breathing. Now, a few of them, just like Angela, now showed no signs of depression or anxiety whatsoever. Now, some of them even claimed their memory got better, which was quite an unexpected side effect. Well, we received email messages and phone calls. All our volunteers were overwhelmed and kept asking for more of our plant-based wonder capsules. It was clear as daylight that we had a mission. Now, all of the suffering caused by obesity had to end, and we needed to make our discovery accessible to as many people as possible. So we created a clinically proven and all-natural supplement that will allow you to target the real root cause of belly fat and turbo boost your leptin receptors for you to break the leptin resistance vicious cycle and get rid of every single unwanted pound. We called it Lepto Connect, the only 100% natural blend that addresses the root cause of belly fat, leptin receptors. We've sourced the purest, highest quality 18 plant extracts and vitamins, put the extract quantities into an easy to swallow capsule to take once a day. Every capsule is manufactured in the USA in our FDA approved and GMP certified facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Now, LeptoConnect capsules are non-GMO and safe. They do not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and they are not habit-forming. And even though losing weight with LeptoConnect is as easy as ABC, The formula is more powerful than any diet method on the planet because it does not only melt pounds of raw, ugly fat after another, day after day, leaving your stomach flat and toned, it also improves your health from head to toe. Now, without you needing to starve yourself or give up your favorite snacks and treats. 162,347 people have already transformed their bodies inside and out with Lepto Connect. People like Barbara T., 55, from Springfield, Illinois, who says, "I was one step from getting bariatric surgery. I kept fighting with my husband because the doctor warned us about the big risk of mental health issues among the patients who undergo this procedure. I promised him I would try Lepto Connect just for him to leave me alone. Now, not in a million years would I have guessed this would be my savior. For the first time in my life, I am not overweight. For the first time in my life, I feel attractive, healthy, and I took up dancing classes, an old dream of mine." Or Thomas S., 62, from Quincy, Massachusetts, who says, "I'm a lot slimmer and energetic than all my kids and grandkids. I lost 43 pounds. I am wearing the jeans I wore in my 20s, and I am not taking them off." And Alice Wallace, 49, from Scranton, Pennsylvania, who writes, "I cannot believe I am eating hamburgers without guilt and looking the way I look now. It feels like a superpower." Talking about having your cake and eating it too. "My husband is all over me. My friends are dying to know what I did. My daughter admires me. If only I knew about this sooner." All you have to do in order to achieve the same dramatic improvements in your hunger and weight is to start using it as soon as possible. The solution is much simpler than you'd think, and you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. If you're ready to give up the burden of your belly fat and bring excitement, comfort, and satisfaction back into your life, if you're ready to say yes to this big change, you first need to ask yourself, how much is it worth to you to be in full control of the way you look and feel? No fears, no health risks, and all of your backbiters are now jealous, begging for your secrets. Just take a second. Imagine, how much would that be worth? $100,000? $10,000? $5,000? Even though Dr. Wellington recommended I sell a 30-day supply of Lepto Connect for no less than $997, considering the 2 years of research, work, and tests that we've invested in it, and even though my Angie suggested a price of $597, seeing how she's a whole new person now, while Alan would have asked for $397 just for the high quality of the ingredients. And even though many of the 162,347 people who got to experience Lepto Connect said they would gladly pay triple. Now, this isn't about money for me. I'll never forget what I felt when I saw Angie incapable of getting out of bed or hearing heart attack coming out of the doctor's mouth. Nor will I forget the pain when Sarah refused to eat because she thought she would get big just like her mommy. I never want anyone to feel as helpless as I did. That's why I'll never ask for $597 or $397 or half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep this site running for as long as I can. Now, even though I'll have to charge $99 for one bottle of Lepto Connect soon, and one bottle, from what I've heard in our community members, replaces over $350 worth of food that you won't need to eat anymore, or meds you might not have to take. The fact that you gave me your trust and stayed with me throughout this whole presentation means a lot. You can get a 30-day supply of Lepto Connect for a one-time fee of just $59. That's right, just $59. Before you order, Dr. Wellington, who has researched all of the ingredients of Lepto Connect and ran a lot of tests, and I recommend you take this supplement for at least 90 days just to make sure you reach your ideal weight, no matter if you're 40, 50, or even 60 years old. In one hand, it's about getting your body enough time to process and take full advantage of all the plant extracts and safely lose every single pound that ever bothered you. On the other hand, LeptoConnect is selling incredibly fast, and once it will be sold out, it will take us 3 to 6 months to produce a new batch, as we're only willing to accept the purest ingredients. Of course, we're committed to support you in every way that we can. So we're going to let you order a batch of 3 bottles or 6 bottles for a huge discount. Now, if you say yes in the next 30 minutes, we're going to make the deal even sweeter. You'll receive a special free bonus. It's called LeptoConnect Colon Cleanser. We want you to detoxify and support the organ responsible for your nutrient absorption and restroom regularity. So, in order to make sure you have every tool you need to feel great, we created this 100% natural blend to increase your body's ability to absorb all the special LeptoConnect nutrients. Ingredients such as psyllium, bentonite clay, flaxseed powder, and black walnut hull will ensure your colon is detoxed, clean, and fully functional. If you buy 3 bottles of LeptoConnect right now, you get a 30-day supply of LeptoConnect Colon Cleanser worth $89 for free. Or I'll cut you an even better deal. Buy 6 bottles of LeptoConnect and you'll get 2 bottles of the LeptoConnect Colon Cleanse worth $179 absolutely free. Plus, with every order made today, in addition to the free bonuses, you'll also get free shipping. Now, how does that sound? Take a look below. Now, once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. Immediately after you fill in your information and confirm your order, your bottle of LeptoConnect will be shipped to you for free right to your doorstep. Now, if you order the 3 bottles or 6 bottles package, which we recommend, as we estimate we'll run out of stocks anytime soon, we'll also send you your free bottle of LeptoConnect Colon Cleanser. Just click below to select your package. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. All you need to keep in mind is that LeptoConnect can be found only on this page and is not available for purchase anywhere else. This is your only chance to grab this exclusive formula. Once again, LeptoConnect is selling very fast, and once it will be sold out, it will take us 3 to 6 months to restock on the pure, rare ingredients and produce another batch. In the meantime, we're getting threats from the weight loss industry giants, and risking our family safety is not something you can do for a long time. So go ahead and make your choice below. Now, if you're skeptical, I totally get you. You've tried a lot of methods, you spent a lot of money, and nothing worked. But I am so confident that LeptoConnect works that I'm going to give you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't experience dramatic improvements or you're not content for any reason whatsoever, we'll issue a full refund, no questions asked. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days from your purchase. Doesn't matter if you've used up the entire bottle, we will still give you your money back. This means you have 2 whole months to decide if LeptoConnect is for you or not. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure one-time transaction. Choose the package you want below. Listen, when you think about it, you really only have 2 choices ahead of you right now. Option 1, stop following this presentation and leave this page. Do nothing. Keep going the way you are now, feeling guilty with every bite you take, wondering why it's so hard for you to shake off these pounds and stay slim for good. Sick and tired of seeing that ugly belly in pictures, hanging over your pants, always trapped in a cycle of desperation, useless efforts, and yo-yo effects? That's exactly what those greedy weight loss gurus want you to do. Option 2, risk nothing at all today. Grab LeptoConnect right now, and you'll be surprised at how well it works, at how beautiful your body can be. So click below to make your choice. Enter your payment details on our secure order form and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Remember, every 3 and 6 month package comes with 1 free or 2 month supply of our pioneering LeptoConnect Colon Cleanse formula worth $89 a bottle. And every order comes with free shipping, no matter where you live. Now, I can't wait for you to experience every single benefit that LeptoConnect has to offer. Still here? Great. I wanted to take a second and answer the most common questions I get about LeptoConnect. I just want to make sure you feel 100% comfortable with your decision to order today. Is LeptoConnect right for me? Well, this is a question I get a lot. So let me ask you, do you have stored body fat that you've tried to get rid of in the past, but nothing worked? If the answer is yes, then LeptoConnect is the right choice for you. As breakthrough studies and brain images have shown, the root cause of your belly fat are the weak leptin receptors in your brain. Now, these receptors don't get the body's signals that you've had enough food. Therefore, your brain is continuously starving and forcing you to eat more, which throws you into leptin resistance vicious cycle. LeptoConnect will strengthen your leptin receptors and produce new ones so that your brain will handle every calorie perfectly. Is LeptoConnect safe? The LeptoConnect has been designed for all ages and medical conditions. The only side effect is having to spend too much money on new clothing. LeptoConnect is certainly safer than starvation diets or high-intensity intervals, and certainly safer than prescription drugs or bariatric surgeries. Why? Because you're restoring your body's natural response to leptin. Now, addressing the root cause of leptin resistance is the most important thing you can do today for long-lasting results now and well into old age. Now, LeptoConnect has high-quality natural ingredients manufactured in an FDA-approved facility and using the latest equipment. So rest assured that LeptoConnect is safe. Now, as always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, we advise you to show a bottle of this supplement to your doctor before you take it, just to put your mind at ease. Now, when should I take LeptoConnect? We recommend you take 2 capsules with a big glass of water in the afternoon for strong leptin receptors and weight loss support. Now, what if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me about the guarantee again? Now, the more results we see, the stronger we believe LeptoConnect has the power to completely transform the body to its very core. It's true, though, that nothing works for 100% of the people who try it, as each body works in its own way. Well, that's why every bottle of LeptoConnect comes with an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If for any reason you aren't fully satisfied with the results, you can just return what you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. How long will this supplement be available to the public? Well, I'm not really sure, but history has shown us that the weight loss industry is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to remove something that threatens its very existence. Now, if you think about it, that makes sense. Would you spend $1 million in lawyer costs to protect the $72 billion per year that you make? Now, what if I lose weight too fast? Now, this is a question that we get more than you might think. Now, it's true that LeptoConnect is an extremely powerful remedy. Well, that's why, should you lose too much weight too fast, we suggest you take LeptoConnect every second day rather than every day, and always consult with your doctor. Wanting to see results fast, especially after trying for so long to take control of your weight, it's only natural. Nevertheless, a healthy, steady pace is always best for your health. Now, taking LeptoConnect along with self-care is always the best way to go. So all you have to do today is click below, fill in your payment details on the secure order form, and submit your order. I can't wait to hear your success story.